color funny book aficionados. This is US Comics Cast. HQ for comic shit. Goddamn hands all over. Annoying ass motherfucker. We are John and Charlie Rivera, the co-founders of US Comics. Charlie,
I like it. It's
happy comic book day observed.
Happy comic book day observed to you
guy.
and to each and every one of you listening and watching at home. As always, we are brought to you by Bad Mary Band and Sergeant Finesse Gaming. Do not steal my script. If you haven't done so already, please drop a like Marvel is going to salvage themselves from fucking utter destrucicity.
Zero words in there.
Ultimate Warrior.
And that wasn't even me fucking with your script.
That's true. Although the hands I missed. I feel like that's what threw me off. Thank you guys for joining us this Thursday. We are back, and let's talk about the just star power, multi-million dollar making RDJ is back in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And John,
I gotta ask though, like, did he ever really go away?
I don't think he ever left, but more importantly,
shit.
When was the last time Charlie's new haircut had upgraded me to Chaz? I'll take it. I'll allow it, Ellis. Welcome to the party, pal.
This is coming from a gentleman whose profile picture is a very young and properly toned Michael Jackson. So that really means something.
I might argue that's a really good, like, that's his soul.
Yeah,
his soul is really identified
what
by
a
young.
compliment. Holy shit.
You know, I think so. John, we have a rule here that we never cover non-topical news. Like, you and I have had some of our only like legitimate fights have been like, I still think it's fucking in the zeitgeist of the week. RDJ and memes and talking heads, they have not stopped from the moment he revealed himself at San Diego Comic-Con.
Crazy.
Nice. To today. It's all people want to talk about, so it has to be talked about here. Now, again, I don't want to force anyone into strong opinions. Cousin Paul never disappointing. Doom J is making an easy cash grab. John, when you first heard the announcement, just that you were on stage crushing it, you fucking check your phone, you see everyone is talking about not your performance. That probably should have been the talk of the town, but instead they're talking about RDJ's return. What was the initial thought as you're wearing Doom Green? what's the you see it?
I had two thoughts that were.
Give it the second one first.
We're kind of so. Thought number two: how is Cousin Paul going to take this news right now? Because as we know, Paul is our number one Fantastic Four fan in the house. But yeah, I immediately started figuring out how exactly are we going to do this? And I do think that that's been kind of the great, I want to say debate, but people are chiming in as if Marvel gave a royal fuck what you thought. They do not care. They're like, this is just what's going to happen. And you're going to fucking watch it. We don't care if you're going to like it, but you're going to watch it and you're goddamn going to pay for it.
Fuckstick82 on YouTube says, this is a mistake. We've canceled his contract.
Can you imagine just like the uppity, like the fucking upper crust of Marvel, Disney really? They're just like huddled around a movie computer terminal.
Oh, that would be fucking amazing. Just Mickey be like, oh, you motherfucker.
Mickey Mouse talking to Kevin Feige.
Take this.
I'm gonna fuck you stupid ass.
Ellis, if you've ever wanted to give us a present, can you please draw that scene from Clerks 2, but it's Mickey and Kevin Feige? What was your first thought? If that was your second thought.
No, my second thought was Paul.
Yeah.
And my first thought was trying to work out the machinations of exactly how they were going to do it. What about yourself?
So this news, correct me if I'm wrong, this news came after I had been injected with joy by Wade and Logan. San Diego Comic-Con.
It came out.
Oh, it was the night before. That's what it was. It was the night before. So my excitement for Deadpool and Wolverine, and I don't give a fuck about Wolverine, not in film,
One would argue
not
that
in
you
comics.
actively dislike him.
If it was not for Spider-Man, the number one king of Charlie's fear and rage, because my rage comes with some fear.
Can we acknowledge why though? Because Charlie. All right, so let me talk to people here. Charlie,
I'm gonna lose all my podcast credibility.
The quintessential ride or die.
It's true,
kid. Right. So whether it's you're
welcome, by the way,
or what? Well,
it has served you well.
Well, except the mine are legitimate, whereas yours, like, I don't know, I don't give a shit about that. Yo, I buried that bastard in the backyard, bro. Why did you think I haven't seen him?
John has murdered some people on my.
Charlie is
fuck them.
The ultimate ride or die. So if he feels that this is a counter, motherfucker, to a perceived home slice, that person is dead. So Charlie's hate comes purely from the fact that Wolverine has been eye mushing Cyclops girl. Charlie is a Cyclops boy living in a Wolverine world.
I don't mean to be droll. I don't mean to make a joke about a serious issue. I never once heard him ask for Rogue's ID when he was sniffing around her in that first X-Men movie. He's a fucking creep. He's a fucking creep. Logan is a goddamn creep. That's true. But Deadpool, he is an open creep, so therefore I love him.
Valid.
I was just excited for a direction. I was excited for fucking news. I was excited. People were excited. You cannot offer me a great actor doing a movie I want to see. Well, maybe John. But doing a movie I want to see and me not get fucking excited. If you were to announce Sly Stallone as Silver Surfer, my reaction would be the same as RDJ is doing. It'd be like, yeah, I'll worry about the logic fucking tomorrow. Let's spray paint Stallone silver.
So let's say
I'm trying to kill Paul.
I know, poor Paul. But let's say I would disagree with that because obviously we both have great affection for Kevin Smith.
Yes,
but if
Kevin Smith for Silver Surfer, I agree.
Yo, I realize Kev's been hiking like 27 miles a day.
He's tiny
for
now.
27 years in a row. But if you told me that he was going to be painted silver, shirtless, with a backward cap, just like, yeah.
$1 billion movie.
I mean, only if you see the movie 1 billion times.
Randall is Galactus. Just by playing Randall, like it's just straight up. So for me, though, because again, I get that sensibility. What I found weird, immediately people started citing shit that sounded like they read comics, but clearly proves that they're not a comic book reader. Because the two big storylines where Iron Man and Doctor Doom spent a lot of time together was when Doom took over the Iron Man mantle. But that's Victor wearing Iron Man shit and running around as Doom. That cannot be what they're fucking adapting. Now it can be, but I'm saying when they started talking about this stuff, they were saying like, well, clearly this is a multiverse Tony.
And by they,
the internet as a whole.
The internet.
The worst, let me rephrase, not the internet as a whole. You know that corner of the internet, not the one where you like buy stuff illegally, the corner next to it where it's just shitty and every opinion's bad. That's the corner of the internet I go to.
There's the web.
Yes.
Which is like, oh,
from 1992.
Let me check movie time.
Yes.
Let me check the dark web where I can go buy a white slave.
Yes.
And then there's the dimly lit web where fucking nerds that don't know shit about nothing. They can go to back. Well, did you know that apparently
they call it X now? It's basically what it is. So the idea that this Robert Downey Jr. has to be playing a Tony Stark Doom is not something that I think is written in stone. But if you want to have that conversation, it cannot be the the Doom-tacular Iron Man or whatever the fuck that series is called, because that was Victor taking a suit, not Tony becoming Doom.
Right. We've had it where Dr. Doom was in the body of Peter Parker.
Yes.
And kind of doing, in my opinion, a pretty fucking good job of being Spider-Man. And also undeniably had the best iteration of the Spider-Man costume, just shy of the all black Venom original when it originally showed up. In Secret Wars, which I don't know if it can happen anymore. But that all being said, we had Victor running around in Iron Man armor.
Yeah.
And frankly, not the quote unquote Iron Man armor did the Victor Von Doom thing to it.
It really was like, I want your car engine and dick else.
Yeah, exactly.
I got Doombots. I'll figure this shit out.
But there was a point where Victor Von Doom took over
the
body of Tony Stark, and then also as well as they have had in the comic book world, I read on the dim web, there was a time where Tony Stark, the guy, was Doctor Doom.
Yeah.
And that was the title.
Yeah.
Right? So all of those are potentially on the table. Are some more likely than others? Sure, of course, because we know the trajectory that the Marvel Disney flicks have gone thus far. When I was sitting there thinking about all of the ramifications and the variations and what's the flavor that I really wanted ultimately was for the fact that RDJ is a fantastic actor, and I can't really think of a performance anywhere from fucking Back to School all the way to Tropic Thunder to Chaplin, for God's sakes. I cannot think of a performance of his that I have not been down with, even if I didn't love the vehicle. I've always loved his performances. Yeah. So my ideal scenario would be, I want a fully fleshed out, established Doctor Doom, mask intact.
Yeah,
I want a Dr. Dre. I want.
Wait a second.
I want a Judge Dredd performance where he never fucking takes off the Doom mask. And ultimately, what we're getting is a live action voiceover gig for RDJ. I'm sure he'd like it. He doesn't have to work out 19 hours a day.
I don't even need to do the
have
body.
14 fucking calories a day.
Like, here's the fucking problem, right? So the elephant in the room is a bunch of like stupid people saying stupid shit. There are people who say, like, if you hire Robert Downey Jr., you have to show his face. Fuck no, you don't. Mandalorian hasn't been near that
Charlie,
set.
You don't understand. These people are all movie executives.
I thought you were going to say morons. You start with an M.
I mean, ultimately, if you read through the lines, and I am laying it on thick, that's exactly what I'm saying. But let's get back there slowly. They're all movie executives. They're speaking from their high ivory towers with the movies that they just spent their entire lifetime making. So when they say things like, if you hire RDJ, you have to show his face. Morons! No, you don't, you stupid idiot. What you're paying that salary for is the fucking name that flashes across the screen. You stupids.
And I think the problem with this amazing run that Marvel had was truly
phase one,
that all of the phases thus far is like, Chris Evans is not going to fucking be Captain America forever. So
all of the phases have been a spectacular run for Marvel.
No. But this run is unprecedented. This run is unprecedented. No one else has done this.
Yeah, having an absolute banger first phase, and then
they're batting 500, bro. This was baseball. They're Hall of Famers.
Less and less effective phases after. Yeah, no, that's pretty interesting. Not too many people can continually get worse and still come out with new material. Yeah, we agree.
I hate this fucking professor bullshit that you just pulled with your little buttons on your shirt, you son of a bitch. My point is, like you said, the name on the poster is going to be key. Also, I think he would do an amazing job pulling a Mandalorian. You get a lot out of those performances. You get everything you need out of him without the hindrance of like, well, maybe he won't want to do 30 of these. Motherfucker, get in your closet and record your lines, because Victor Von Doom is a bad motherfucker, and he should not, and I mean there's all due respect to Paul, he should not be relegated to just a Fantastic Four movie. This motherfucker should be, when they reboot Marvel, like hopefully on the other side of Secret Wars, what we're going to get is another bite at this delicious apple. And it'll hopefully be just the good parts, just the fucking, maybe once Bobby joining us on Facebook.
Yeah, it was up,
maybe once, but I'll take that 20. Fuck it. I'll dream big. I think
Well, Bobby, is that 20 for each of us, or do we have to split 10 and 10?
he's about to be a dad. I don't know if he's able to just throw out 20.
I don't want no like sticky fucking Cheerio covered $10 bills.
That's how his money is now. Kid's not even out yet. He just always has little sticky baby fingers.
Yeah, that's a good point.
He got doo-doo fingies. 20 per person. We've challenged him via doo-doo fingies.
Nice.
But my point.
I will also take $20 worth of Cheerios because that's my jam.
That's true. All the different flavors. I think the fact is as simple as we need to structure everything with that phase 1 energy. Phase 1 had a fucking plan. Phase 1 had a direction. This next run needs a fucking direction. And if the theme is that Doom is always a pain in everyone's balls,
do you think though that like the subsequent runs haven't had a direction, or that the direction was poorly conceived?
I think that it was. I think after they finished phase 1, they were truly directionless, and they were hoping something would stick. I think they were hoping that, like, if everything went well, and ultimately, this is a little bit of a change of thought, but ultimately, they did what Marvel did with this casting announcement and bringing back the directors of their most popular flicks and bringing back their most popular actor. What they've done is what you have to do when your plans get exploded, right? They decided to move away from an actor who was problematic potentially, and they decided to move away from that fucking character because they kind of botched the intro. You have to treat it like pro wrestling. The thing we advertise we can't do, we got to give something better. And you cannot fucking deny RDJ is a bigger deal.
Is that what wrestling does?
It is. It is. The other day, they couldn't be flight, so they really just a great episode. So on today's episode of Dynamite Recap.
Yeah, so I don't know that I completely agree with that, Charlie. What I think is that they sat down and they wrote out these plans. I mean, not all these movies are like Gambit. We're like, yeah, this is definitely happening. I can't wait. Nope, not happening. I feel like the Marvel era, if they say they're going to do it, maybe dates change, maybe order of releases change, things like that. Maybe they go backwards and forwards in the timeline.
Yeah.
What I think really changed it was the introduction of the multiverse, the popularity, the acceptance of the multiverse by the fans, and we only really have Loki to thank for that. It gave them a blank check in effect. So they said at that point, hey, if we're going to argue your point where there wasn't really direction, there was not so much direction, they wanted to see what would stick, then sure, that would allow them to have that effect. We can't forget, I know you like to put Spider-Man on the back burner, but that fucking the triple point, a moment that came to fruition, fucking Charlie aside, people lost their fucking mind.
That's true. I also lost my mind. I was like, I got fucked. I was told only one Spider-Man. There's 3. Yeah.
Getting Toby back, and people fucking going crazy. And Andrew, what's his face? Garfield. My co-star. People have thrown so much shade at him over his Spider-Man performances for years and years and years. And that guy can't walk down the street right now without people coming up to him like, hey, you're my favorite Spider-Man. Even to the point where they're having the conversation of, well, maybe in the sacred timeline, this motherfucker is a Spider-Man, not Babyface McGillicuddy. So look, loves and hates, that shit's fickle. It changes. When you have someone who is universally beloved, like an automatic green light for people's attention, like RDJ, to sideline him, frankly, is fucking stupid. It was just fucking dumb. And Logan also showed us that, yeah, you can have this amazingly cinematic, deep, meaningful, like all-time, top of the mountain type of ending, like Logan fucking had on the stump, like Tony had just laying out there in the middle of the rocks.
Logan.
And say like, oh yeah, you like that, right? That was fucking awesome. Nah, just kidding. We're bringing him right the fuck back.
So
People
Ellis
pay.
in the chat said multiverses suck and they remove the stakes.
They do remove the stakes.
Do you think Logan was lessened that now a new Logan showed up in Deadpool? I don't think so. I think if your fucking movie's fun or good or great, I don't think there's absolute truth to this shit.
Well, but again, we all agreed that we very, very much enjoyed Deadpool and Wolverine, without question. But Charlie, that was a fun fucking movie.
Yes.
It wasn't so much a meaningful movie.
Sure, but it
was like, oh my God, Elektra finally got her ending. Oh, I can sleep again. No, nonsense. Whereas with Logan, that should hit.
Yeah.
I mean, there were men eyeballs watering up at that shit. And it's hard for you then to now go back and say, okay, here's a very meaningful Wolverine story, and you have to now care as much. I don't think that's going to happen. Deadpool and Wolverine, fucking fun. Dessert, it was junk food.
Yeah.
So you can sit back there and be like, oh yeah, this is absolutely great. But I'm not going to have that emotional investment again.
But to my point, though, did the junk food ruin the delicious dinner? They're unrelated, in my opinion.
No. Yes and no, but yes in terms of that immediate instance. But if they walk right back out with another dinner, what are you going to say? No, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good. I'm filled up.
That was my point. A few years. Bobby brings up a good point, which is if you've known Bobby, surprise.
Bobby, you're taking shots right and left.
So he can't defend himself.
Not right.
Wrong state. Right. He lives in the wrong state. As I punch my table, I think it's hard for some people to follow the multiverse. It does make it fun, though. Do you think you said for years, and I believe this is an exact quote, audiences are really, really stupid and hate them, and everyone is stupid compared to me and John.
Not that
everyone should probably be meaner to me because I think very little of them. That's a quote I had written down.
I'm gonna need Snopes to jump in
fair
there
enough,
and
fair enough.
Fact check this motherfucker.
Do you think it's as simple as people are too fucking dumb to follow shit? Why is Captain America a British girl?
For their sake, I hope they never go down the Hail Hydra route with Captain America. That'll really mess them up.
Although I bet that would convince Evans to come back.
I mean,
you get to be dark fucking Steve.
And we'll let you curse again. Oh, okay.
I know the curse he'd want to use, that Hail Hydra.
Look, I mean, these are comic book movies. It's supposed to be fun. Not everything has to be a joke a minute, because if you remember, and we've gotten so far away from the point where, like, yeah, this phase 1 from Marvel is so great. You don't have to be so jokey. Like, even when we all acknowledged that was their best era, we forget because of time passing. People were shitting on them for other stuff then too.
Very nice you're saying people and not Charlie. It's like I'm sick of this RDJ giggle bullshit. Fuck RDJ. He ain't so good. I'm wearing a mask. I am a cinematic hypocrite.
RDJ, Charlie was mad at you too for a little while, just because you got to be around fucking what's a note? It's Mila Jovovich in her like, oh my goodness. Hey, who's that moment? That's another Chaplin reference. Charlie just had nothing but fucking beef. He's like, people like them, man. Yeah, thumbs down.
Then he showed up in Chef, and I was like, all is forgiven. John, as we wrap up the segment, my final thought.
No. I want your final thought. Is how would the RDJ news play out to your utmost satisfaction?
Faceless. He's the fucking voice. He does 35 fucking films as Doom, as the big bad.
As always, Charlie just defaults to my opinion. He's like, yeah, no, let's go with that. Well done, buddy.
Thank you. Smart. I appreciate that. It is smart. And if you think that I was dumb and not smart, you have something in common with that fucking stupid ass, no chin having, fucking bad movie writing. Honestly, I heard he's never fucking satisfied a woman in his whole life.
The hell?
You are just like George Lucas. Why, Ellis?
Oh, Ellis.
Because Goddamn, George Lucas is a liar. And Han shot first.
Whiskey.
We went fancy. Oh, I died inside.
Somehow I'm pickled. I'm gonna live forever.
Oh, do you want to play a villain in Marvel? Because the answer is yes. My contract would be like $30 an hour.
Sign me up.
150 movies.
I will work on an hourly basis. My rider is very reasonable.
They don't really have like a go-to chubby McChubberston character. Like in DC, I could be like Bouncing Boy. But like there's no chubbers in Marvel, are there? I'm not talking about variants. I'm talking about like other than fucking Block. Eat a dick. By the way, whoever was like, you can play what? Fuck you. Like a real, like a, because I would do that shit for what I get paid in my normal job. Like a one for like, I will do every convention. I'll do all sorts of fucking signings.
Yeah, you'd be a Ming Chen like every.
Fuck yes. Fuck yes, I would. And I would do it without fucking even a moment of it'd be. I would
Welcome to the Moose Jaw Comic Con Convention Center.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Who's a bigger boy in Marvel?
I mean, I guarantee there's an anonymous X-Man, but like, the only one I can think of is Blob, and that's like a giant.
Yeah,
fat guy.
He's like 9 feet tall. I'll come up with him.
You're gonna invent one?
No. It'll come to me rather.
Fair enough.
It'll come to me rather. But in any case, while Marvel is kind of like seemingly using the multiverse to draw on their greatest hits, fucking DC's over here. By the way, did you see that now re-familiar new old logos popping up all over the place? Popped up on this bastard too.
This is the first production to use the new DC Studios gimmick.
I'm gonna count it as Mr. Gunn's social media post. I think that's the first thing that matters. But anyone who doesn't know what we're blathering about, over on Amazon Prime,
shocking,
you can find the new animated Batman series, Batman Caped Crusader, and it is very much, I think it's fair to say, the spiritual successor to Batman the Animated Series. It has a real fucking vibe to it.
It's a vibe series?
It's not.
Fuck.
There's never has been and never will be a vibe series because he's trashish.
I'd play Chubby Vibe. I'd lose weight to play Vibe.
You be Vob, his brother. But so look,
I'm drawing that tonight. That's gonna look awesome.
Make it happen. Ellis, project number 7. So here it is again. We have another series. Now, granted, we've had multiple animated series since Batman the Animated Series. Batman the Animated Series is Mount Rushmore level of goodness for cartoon shit, like to our heroes.
It is Mount Rushmore level shit for all shit. Like the Batman performance, that's some people's definitive Batman.
It very well
without any sort of asterisk of animation.
While I would say that Batman the Animated Series, since it's long form storytelling,
cheated.
It's a bit of a cheat to say like, oh, compare that to, fucking Val Kilmer's Batman or something like that. You'd be like, well, no, I'm not going to do that because that's like baseball versus
like football. That's punching down.
But in terms of that long form storytelling, it's absolutely, I think, King of the Hill. However, this new series unabashedly, unapologetically says, oh no, this is going to kind of be a continuation of that without being a timeline continuation of that. So you're seeing, and you'll see from the graphic that we use to promote the episode, this is long ass, sometimes floppy eared version of Batman. This is like OG version of Batman. Short ass little gloves. I was surprised he wasn't packing heat.
I am obsessed with the aesthetic.
Yeah,
those tiny little. I do not know why it would make me so happy.
So the aesthetic of the show is noir.
Yes,
it's noir, and one might argue again with the Zeppelins and with the very low profile Batmobile,
like neo-noir.
with everybody suited up. It was like a bunch of Barney Stinsons running around that bitch. So that's the aesthetic, and that was the aesthetic in Batman the Animated Series originally. And in the new series, Cape Crusader, yes, absolutely, it's got the noir aesthetic. What you're talking about is their straight up fucking costume department. These are version 1.0s of the characters. You're talking about Catwoman rocking purple and green,
and a cape.
She's got a fucking cape.
Hell yeah.
She's got a fucking backstabbing, run away with your shit German. Spoiler alert. And this will be spoiler heavy because at this point you should have seen it. And honestly, the reviews would indicate you guys have seen it. Like, people are gobbling up this series, and by people I mean adult people. Which, ironic to me, is that this show it's not childish, but they're like welcoming to younger viewers. There's going to be a whole fucking swath of comic book heads that this is their animated Batman.
What's funny is this, and again, not to kind of jump in on you, but like, I would not identify
Alice, no, it sticks to black.
For the gloves. For the gloves.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Sticks to black. He asked the second question about if Penguin was abroad. You're like, he sticks to black. I'm like, that doesn't answer that fucking question at all.
I read it out of order, but it's
what do you mean I read it out of order? The top is oldest. Top is oldest.
You read it out of... Yeah, but that's not how I was.
I'm going to hug your face.
Don't hug my face.
Your face is going to be hugged.
God damn it.
This is not an adult cartoon. It's just not a children's cartoon. This does not strike me.
It's a cartoon that anyone can watch.
It is. It in no way does it insult you as an adult for watching it. If you're a kid, there's some shit you'll miss. This motherfucking Batman, he is breaking thumbs. People are getting shot. But as opposed to an adult,
characters are shooting guns in your face.
But as opposed to an adult cartoon, someone gets shot. It's not like there's a spurt of fucking blood.
Yeah.
It's almost like that's exactly it. That's what I love about it, though. It does not. The word eludes me right now, but it doesn't push anyone away. Because again, someone grabs their chest like it's a stage production, and they're yelling "Stella Bercha." I know what the fuck happened. Like, I don't actually need listen. I need Invincible to be invincible.
Sure.
I don't need everything to be invincible.
Well, it can't be. Everything can't be invincible because then it's not special anymore when you watch Invincible.
And I feel like it would take, like, something like this, I feel like it would genuinely take away. Also, I'm obsessed with these runtimes. They are telling these fucking stories in the dollar and cents that they need to. There are 19-minute episodes. There's 21-minute episodes. Yeah. They have the ability to make the mistake that streaming series have made since streaming series were invented.
Yeah, like this is going to be 72 minutes long. There's no commercial.
I don't need among the first episodes, there's a Clayface episode, a Catwoman episode. There's a Gray Ghost episode. There's an equivalent of a Firefly episode. The fact that they don't... That's correct. The fact that they don't feel the need to fucking mush your face into the storytelling carpet. To be like, do you get it? Do you get it?
I respectfully...
think they rubbed your face in the carpet? We're not talking about Selena.
I did not feel that in every episode. So,
interesting.
Now here's the thing. So, when I was watching it, while I didn't take umbrage with any of the changes, which is the reason why I alluded to that, exactly that. I alluded to the fact, like, well, this isn't your dad's Batman. In this case, we're the dads.
It's true.
This is the generation where, like, oh, wait a minute, that's different from what I know.
Actually, I believe Heart of Ice was...
You know what? You could have just gone ahead and fucking watched the same shit that you already know and you love.
And I do.
Admittedly, all over again and not bother watching this. So, like, again, Ellis had alluded to earlier, yeah, there are major changes. Again, spoiler heavy. Penguin in this, at least that first episode, maybe she's got a brother. I don't know where they go. I wasn't in those meetings. The Penguin we meet is indeed a woman. Also a very sultry, fucking like a saloon type singer,
but also very the Penguin. It's a straight out of the comics costume.
If you
they just gave her boobs.
If you never and kind of Penguin did already have.
They did. Let's be honest. We call them moobs because we're polite here.
In the same way that Colin Farrell's Penguin is not is not fucking Burgess Meredith.
Yeah.
So look, we've established that they're allowed to, and certainly will. So you got to get used to it. They will do what they see fit in order to make stories interesting.
What a concise way of putting it.
I'm a very smart person. Thank you very much.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just like to. This is the only time I'm like allowed to without getting barked at. You bring up a great point, though. Right now, the two major non-comic book penguins are not what's on the page, right? And I think it's better that we have these options. These are the world where we kick open that Cape Crusader has its own world to play with. This is the sort of shit that makes me excited that if they ever did expand outside of the Batman bubble, like I'm desperate to see what their interpretation. And don't get me wrong, I'm not in a rush, but I would love to see what they would do with a Robin. I would love to see what they would do with if they introduce.
Always got Robin on the brain.
Always love Dick, just throbbing Dick in my brain
like,
always.
I'll see what they do with Robin, those tight little green underwears.
Yeah, who wasn't? Who wouldn't? That's not
my question is this: not why Batman is running around in a bulletproof fucking ninja suit, and why Robin is wearing underoos. Why were they scaled? So anyone who's a fan of texture, what?
Yeah, when Bruce gives a little pat on the back,
he's like, stop.
Good job, buddy.
Going the other way.
Oh,
so
Alfred sewed those shits on after night one.
He's like, I'm sorry, HR insisted, master. Robin's briefs are the same texture, quote unquote, as Captain America's fucking super suit.
Yeah,
I'm like, Robin, what, my man? Yo, do you got to speak to an adult? What's happening here? But what I was saying also was, the other changes that were made that for a split second, you have to be like, hey, wait a second. First and first, mostly, my girls are thick. My girls are thick. I
wasn't going to bring it up.
But Montoya,
woo!
My girl's thick as shit. Thick as anything. We do meet Harley Quinn, who's a straight lady lover right from the beginning. Commissioner Gordon and Barbara Gordon, they're a little bit on the darker scale of
how
things.
that generally works with families.
So, well, not necessarily, because you turn into like a fucking Aztec in the middle of the summertime. And I'm still see-through most of the time. So look, they made changes, right? They're and while I'm watching it, while I'm admittedly enjoying it, I didn't really see an episode where I'm like, that was a stinker. There were episodes where I thought, the fucking unwashed kind of dumb masses are gonna have something to say about this, that, or the other thing, and I was really surprised.
No, I haven't read there was not miserable fuck yet.
There were out there, but not the numbers that I anticipated. I thought it was gonna be like a potential review bomb scenario, because now you have a black Commissioner Gordon, and you have a thick Montoya, and you have, like the changes that they made.
It's sometimes very hard, and I don't mean this as a challenge, because there's dipshits that might read it that way. There is something to be said about, like, if you had a complaint about this series, you're kind of a huge dick, because, like, Batman rules in this. Like, it is such a good, it is so well defined. Like, at least that character is so wonderfully. He is Batman. I'll say this. One thing I will say is, I've never seen Batman bailed out so many times. But see, this is how you get Charlie to love a character that he's not always obsessed with. And I'm not going to be a fucking total piece of shit and be like, I fucking hate Batman. No one hates Batman. Batman's Batman. But Batman's the Yankees. Batman fans.
Joker might hate Batman.
That's true. He kind of loves them too, though. The Batman's popularity means that he has a lot of fans who are kind of dicks. I love a year one-ish Batman who, like, is fallible. He'll fuck up. He's not going to win every fight.
I didn't get that impression that it was a year one Batman, though.
Oh, I did. Just because I feel like Alfred. By the way, chubby Alfred for the win. New Hollywood costume unlocked.
Alfred is, again, this is a version of Alfred.
1943 origin, baby.
This isn't a version of Alfred who's on the doesn't fuck around list, but on the same token is very fallible and human. He's like the Jiminy Cricket in this scenario. Look,
loves a donut though.
Who doesn't?
Just big him.
there are certain things about this iteration that I absolutely loved even more so. And I know Charlie lives for the comparisons. I loved it. I loved it even more so because this series really leans into his Bruce Wayne character.
Yeah.
Right? We know now, we've established very clearly, canon, this is not shakeable canon. This is no latitude here. The guy is Batman.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne is the cover. Bruce Wayne is the character that he's playing, whereas Clark Kent is the guy, and Superman is the character that's being played. In this case, he's playing the shit.
He is so
doing
close.
The scenery. He's accepting fucking Oscars and stuff like that. Bruce Wayne is a very, very fleshed out character. He's
so
a ladies'
close
man.
to calling everyone sweet tits. Every episode, I'm like,
right there. I'm like,
lawyers, cops.
You're talking to a guy right now.
Oh yeah,
that's losing Fox. Relax a little bit.
I love Teddy's point from Facebook. Teddy says, "I like it's done in such a classy way. This feels like a classy fucking cartoon.
It clearly is taking place in the 40s.
Yeah,
that's the thing. So
which you have, I did feel like you were robbed a little bit.
I'm Charlie. I'm so used to being robbed constantly.
Craig over on Facebook is still really upset. We'll get into this eventually, but the boys kind of stole a US Comics thing, like pound for pound, everything but accessory.
I had the conversation with Craig.
He's still shaking.
I disagree. Respectfully.
Okay, interesting. We'll get into it later. But the only reason I name drop it is I do want to jump to Ellis's question: does making the Penguin a woman add anything to the character? If they're going to make that change, they should do it for a reason, because they have something to say. It's not like Batman's lacking girl villains.
I have an answer for that. What's your answer for that?
I absolutely think it adds quite a lot to it. Okay. Her episode, which is the first episode,
yes,
really does play up the fact that she is, to me, that she's a woman. It changes her dynamics with the people around her, changes her interactions with Batman in a really fun way, and the fact that it is still it's Oswalda. Probably the worst thing about it was like
that wasn't great.
That's a day one draft name. That's like Aswalina. Like, it's just fucking terrible. I think it changes the character a lot, and it's a justifiable change. What do you think?
Did I misread? So I think what he was asking is if it
if they made the change for a reason.
Changes what they're saying. So like, how does Penguin being a woman change that narrative? Like, so the Batman Penguin relationship changes how? Because you can't treat it like it's a son.
Yeah, totally.
You're not supposed to treat it like.
And I think it does in a good way.
Okay.
I think Oswald Cobblepot, traditional Penguin, not the Colin Farrell version either, because that's the mobster version. The traditional Penguin is almost like made a mess by his physicality. Like the way he looks is something he clearly hates. He wishes he looks like Bruce. Oswalda fucking loves the way she looks. Like, so it is the same character, but it has a wildly different aspect to it, which I think is interesting and fun.
So the way I take it, Ellis, is this: Batman is woefully underpowered compared to the majority of his rogues gallery. I mean, Batman's rogues gallery, people argue that it's one of the very best in all of comic book film.
It's really his versus Spider-Man.
Compare that, though, to, again, let's compare that to Spider-Man's rogues gallery, who is ultimately at a power level appropriate to Spider-Man. If you flip-flop Spider-Man's, this might be a fun episode too. If you flip-flop Spider-Man's rogues gallery with Batman's rogues gallery in a pure fucking wrestling AEW, WWF fucking SmackDown.
Yeah.
Spider-Man's rogues gallery would go to jail for the rest of her life for murdering all of these poor, defenseless Batman villains.
Just imagine Oswald pulls out the fucking like knife umbrella.
Oh,
and it's just like, oh, Venom ate him.
He's like dead. He's just using his fucking umbrella to pick his teeth. But that all being said, even if you look at Batman's rogues gallery in terms of the physicality, Penguin is on the lower, like the OG version of Penguin with the little belly and the fucking tails. That motherfucker is still on the bottom power-wise. So the argument then becomes, if Batman is going up against Penguin, and Penguin is doing some maniacal fucking scandalous shit, just like bah, 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 bah. And like, so what does Batman do? Stop him from doing his dirt, undo the damage that he's doing, or does he punch this handy, capable, penguin-looking motherfucker halfway across the screen? And in the past, Batman went I'm going to punch this weeble wobble across the screen, and then I'll worry about the rest when the dust settles. So we have a similar scene, again, spoiler heavy, where out on the conveniently umbrella-shaped fucking outpost with a giant fucking gun facing towards Gotham, Batman is put to a decision. Do I stop this nightclub singing hawk-nosed lady and fight her goons? Or do I figure something else out, point the cannon before you're even done thinking about what's Batman gonna do? My man lays a haymaker
quality
on Lady Penguin, by whom she will now be referred to for the rest of the episode.
Sweet Lady
Penguin.
Oh
boy, he beats her ass like fucking, like the Rock beat fucking what's her face, China. Oh man, he hit her so hard. Woo, she thought she was a man for a second. So what's funny is that like it looked different, but it was treated zero fucking differently. And I was like this. That's what you got to do sometimes.
John is an aggressive feminist.
Man. You know what else I do want to say though?
I did not like that.
That scared me. Speaking of beating women, no, just kidding. One of the things about the show that I very, very much loved, and this I would also include as a +1 over Batman the Animated Series, just to placate you, Charlie. It had such a fucking goon squad take on the villains, right? So like the villain of the week nature of it. So you got Penguin, you got the Penguin fucking goons. You had whatever, like, so again, it really was a villain of the week type of scenario, but much like the live action, the 66 Batman series, like when you had the bad guy, it wasn't just enough to have the bad guy. You needed a boom, pow, bing.
Yeah.
You needed those characters, and the show has them.
I want there to be
not
like
one for one, like little miniature versions, but they are there. Catwoman had to fight a fucking jaguar. Like it just went on and on. And I really, really appreciated that. I thought it was a lot of fun.
It's just, again, it is really putting, I feel like day one is deciding who they're going to fight. All right, who's for episode 2? Selena. What obstacle is going to be in Batman's way? Panther.
Oh, yeah.
Like it is
definitely Panther.
And I feel like what they're building up to, because I'm like 6 episodes in or something, I feel like for season 2, they're going to be like Riddler and the Commas, and they're a boy band out of Massachusetts. See? Like the fucking element of fun that it allows while still still fucking letting them be kind of gritty when they need to be gritty, and shit has weight. At one point, one of my absolute favorite fucking scenes, and I hate to spoil it, but this is the sort of show you're dealing with, because we just talked about he punched fucking Lady Penguin in the teeth. Yeah. She smacks around her kids. It's fucking awesome. Someone talked shit.
Lady Penguin had a mimsy.
And only handled that shit. That shit was dork. That shit was dark. John, some news reporter was talking shit about Mama Wayne's pearls.
Oh yeah.
And Bruce said, he fucked that guy.
Not too smart to wear those pearls out. And look, he didn't even finish the sentence.
Holy shit!
I thought
I was watching Street Fighter. He hit him with a Hadouken.
Yeah, he got him.
Ellis over on Facebook asked a very important question. Bane would I think it just justifies we need this for an episode. Bane would single-handedly take out all the Spider-Man's rogues gallery. He's the second best tactician. Is the first best tactician Bane? Fucking homeboy who's gonna get his own terrible movie? Who's the fucking hunter guy?
Oh, fucking Craven?
Craven. Fucking Craven is also like a metahuman.
You know,
Bane got some fluid. Everyone cuts that fluid. He
sick of these
dies.
Fucking rich people. Like, I think I'm going to be a super blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Go on vacation. Leave us alone.
Yeah, fucking, can you feed some homeless people, you prick?
Now that all being said, I do not want to, I'm not singing all rainbows. There were parts where I was like, ooh, I don't know about that. And Teddy, thanks for joining us, brother. Teddy brings up the point. Teddy just drops, not too into the ghost, but then again, that ghost episode, two things happen. On the good side, we get to see the animated fucking Papa Midnight. And when I first saw him, he first makes his appearance. I'm like, this is like 1940, whatever. Who's got? Oh, it's Papa Midnight. Oh shit! And the bookstore totally escaped me. Never mind the fact that he's supposed to be Manhattan, but this is now Gotham. I'm like, I'll let it go. That's fine by me.
He had two locations.
So on one hand, I was like, oh yay, good for you, show. And then, oh boy, it was so fucking ham-fisted. So let me understand this, Batman Cape Crusader. Are you saying that racism is bad? Like, it was so painfully, we get it. Why don't you tell us something now? And truth be told, the way that they framed that particular episode, showing that no, not everything is fucking perfect. It was really kind of toying with the undercarriage of like, is this going to be a Scooby-Doo type of scenario? I'm like, oh, we're going to find out that it's going to be a hologram, or it's going to be a this, that, the other thing, some kind of tech that doesn't exist in the 40s. And even so, they introduce you to the descendant. We're like, man, I gotta sell the house. This is so sad. You're like, oh, it's gonna be him. He's gonna have some kind of. Oh no, not him.
Oh, it's old man McGillicuddy.
The actual ghost whose superpower is racism. All right, what's the next episode? You're right, Teddy. You and I were on the same page.
I will say, I think what my problem with that episode was, like, they did a really
not racist enough.
They really no, because I feel like they just did a good job of like. All the colors of Benetton are here. Like
for the show?
For the show, it's like you almost don't need to be like, hey, Bullock's a racist. Like, I assumed Bullock was a racist. Like, you don't.
I just think of Bullock as an asshole. Like, he doesn't need to have specific.
But again, so one of the easiest things that they always do it to Bullock, and I hate when they redeem Bullock because fuck Bullock. The whole point of Bullock is he's supposed to be the opposite of fucking Jim.
Back to blue, bro.
Fair enough. No matter who, I guess.
Yeah, that's the point.
His partner's black. So even with Bullock, they were like, he's a piece of shit. But, you know, he's colorblind.
But so his not white partner.
Yeah, I just feel like one was better at football than it was in Bullock.
They do have the partner fucking dressed up in those fine.
I hate it. I knew for a fact you were going to be like, that's my guy. That's the fit.
The guy's making some questionable decisions on the streets, but... that bow tie is kind of on point right now.
That bow tie leads you to the sheets.
So for me, the show, I enjoy the show very much so. I'm very much looking forward to the second season because there's a certain character who, and this I won't spoil, there's a certain character who we never see. And they allude to, they kind of pull the House of the Dragon. They're like, next season, like, oh, you son of a bitch. So I'm very, very interested to get that inevitable appearance on
the cameo from that person's, I'll put it this way, there's a dame that shows up, and in this office, I went, oh, I was so fucking happy.
Your mother thought it was a smoke detector going on. She's like, I'm not even cooking anything. So again, for me, the show is a must-watch. Absolutely a throwback to Batman the Animated Series. Intentionally noir. Intentionally rips off John. However, when people like just as good, maybe better. Well, you don't know what you're talking about. That's ignorant. That's ignorant.
It also
it's a dumb thing to say, and also, unfortunately, mitigates all of the good points that you were trying to make.
It makes me mad.
To sit there, look, somebody might say and mean it. I actually like this better. Okay, but there are 0 fucking episodes that you could see being adapted into a feature film, and there are a good
30?
half a dozen, maybe double that. And granted, a significantly longer run, so they have time. But you other than saying it's like a spiritual successor, which I think is what I said.
Yeah,
you cannot compare these two shows.
I don't even think
there's Batman the Animated Series, and then there's nothing else for a long time that's even remotely close.
And I think Bruce Timm would say it. You know, Bruce Timm oversaw both. Yeah. And I think there is a certain comparisons to the Theft of Joy, also for cartoons.
Is that something that you believe?
When my medication's working.
Charlie's like, what was it? What was it called again? Comparison.
Comparison is the theft of joy.
Comparison is the theft of joy. And I'm a fucking kleptomaniac. God damn.
I am.
Charlie loves that shit.
I am stealing that line for the rest of my life. John,
Charlie.
Much like Amazon stole all my money, poor Ellis turns down Max. And he's like, this is all the Warner Brothers shit, right? And they were like, no, not all of it. Don't be stupid. The streaming wars are over.
Just the old shit that nobody really cares about.
Do you want to see the new multiverse cartoon that nobody fucking likes? It's in 9 parts for some reason. That's a series, by the way. When your movie is a trilogy, but it's only one fucking story, I have bad news for you. You made a shitty show.
You're doing it wrong.
A shitty show that's hard to watch. Fuck off, nerds. John, let's pay some guy. Oh, let me just read these first. Charlie Albert Einstein Rivera. I like that. Bruce Sim is going to shoehorn a Batman Batgirl romance. Listen, don't do that to me, Ellis. Don't even will that into existence. That fucking broke my heart. But things that don't break my heart, our lovely partners in pod. We're not like other fucking shows. Sorry. We're not like other shows who are going to try to tell you to download Battleship Noir 83 or some bullshit that's going to track your data. We are going to always chill out for those that are worth chilling out for. Today, we are once again brought to you one of our absolute favorite bands, and that, of course, is Bad Mary. You heard them during the intro. You're going to hear them again at the end. If you're wondering where else you can catch their act, you can follow them at Bad Mary Band across social media platforms. You can support them over on patreon.com/Bad Mary Band. You can stay up to date, badmary.com for merch and upcoming performances. But my favorite part, every single one of their albums, including their brand new album, Betterer Days, the kind of update to Better Days, is available across every music streaming service.
Hell yeah. Can I do this in Charlie's fashion?
Fuck yes. Let me back up, though. Get those fingies ready.
You got to remember, you got to ask yourself the one question, where we dropping? And the answer is with Charlie. Sergeant Finesse. Yeah, baby. Sergeant Finesse, he's doing his gaming thing to this day, maybe even right damn now. You can check him out gaming on both Facebook Gaming, also as well as over on the purple side, the green on kick.com. Check him out doing his thing. He's a multi-game streamer, always doing it to it, always a funny guy to hang around with. Really enjoyable hang whenever you watch him streaming. Also, as well as we can't forget Jokers_stream_ over on Twitch.
What's up, Bats?
Dynamite Fortnite gamer, amazing cosplayer. How many people can you think of that do both them shits simultaneously and are both top of the fucking game? Joker is that guy. So check out Joker, check out Sergeant Finesse, doing the thing that they do oh so well, and it's a great time killer. Let's face it, nowadays you fucking need it.
You got shit to do. But John,
what?
As we near the endish of this season, you're gonna see changes coming. One of those changes is something that's gonna stick around, but not be every single week, is going to be our movie pitches. This is the part of the show where one of us tries to sell the other one who's going to play movie producer our idea for a brand new concept. So, John,
what?
For not the last time, but probably, we're rounded down at it being week to week. Why don't you do me a favor? Hit that button for me, pal. My dear,
it said pinch me.
Pitch. Wear your glasses.
Barry.
On the other side of Deadpool and Wolverine, there was one cameo that I think outperformed the rest. And that, of course, was Johnny
Toad.
It was also, Toad was like 15. It wasn't Elektra. It probably was Johnny Storm or Gambit, but I'm not talking about them today. MCU just announced that for now, Blade isn't on the agenda. They're still working on it. Blade will still be a movie.
Or Mahershala.
He's probably out. The director left a while ago. The fucking writer's script got thrown out. But John, the answer is,
how hard is it to write a Blade? Well, they found it pretty hard.
I mean, we're about to find out.
Take it back.
Because I want to bring you to the exciting world of what's old is new again. Wesley Snipes is going to star in My Blade 4. Now, My Blade 4 is not going to pretend that his cameo didn't happen. At the end, spoiler, for the two of you that haven't seen it 3 times yet, for the end of Deadpool and Wolverine, basically, the TVA says we'll do what we can regarding these heroes that sacrificed themselves, maybe died in the other side, on the fucking underground.
In the wasteland.
Our movie picks up, not with directly explaining it, but I promise we'll get to it. We set up in the 50s. We're set up this is the other script.
I know.
We're starting off with fucking Tommy guns and gangsters. We're going back to the 50s. Where's
Tommy the machine gun?
Not Tommy the Machine Gun for Rocky. No.
Oh.
Even further back, we got some mobsters that are doing mobster shit.
Like
these mobsters come through. They kill the other, like the rival group.
Mm-hmm.
They go over, they're like, man, what do we got? This is during Prohibition. We got the little, they don't sound like that. This is just for effect.
How many? Yeah, it's in the script.
Oh, shit. 52?
Man.
it's $10 each match. See? What they are is this is during Prohibition, because that's the most fucking fun time to do mob shit.
Gangsterous shit of all time.
And you have the leader, this like brolic fucking, think of your favorite big bold chested fucking actor right now. No, in fact, that's a whole different set of muscles. Oh, buddy, that was very sweet of you, though. Did I break you? Did I break you?
Oh, what a dick.
So we have this one mobster, clearly the leader of this group that just helped kill the other, go over to these barrels of what you assume are fucking wine or whiskey or something.
I'm assuming it's whiskey.
And he goes, let's see what they have. And he puts his little dirty finger in the bullet hole. It's kind of pouring out. And he goes, oh, God, tastes like pennies. It's blood, motherfucker. It's blood. We see dunk, dunk, dunk. We see 3 vampires drop down. We do that fucking cool shit where it's dark, but because of the gun muzzle fire, you like can kind of see shit going down. These fucking vampires tear these fuckers apart. Oof. We are keeping all the violence from Deadpool and Wolverine. Like we see a guy literally.
Actually, Deadpool and fucking Wolverine took the violence from Blade.
That's true.
That was one of the most violent shits ever.
Return to form. One of these vampires, and even bigger than our most fucking brolic guy, straight up shoves his hand inside of one of the mobsters. Ooh. And we like kind of see this shit.
Meat puppet.
Grabs his spine and Mortal Kombat rips that motherfucker out. So we're left with this giant mobster in a dope suit. You're gonna love the suits.
Victory.
He literally is like, like about to. This guy is pissing himself in real time. We cut to fucking black.
Okay.
We then cut to a lovely family. We're in the middle of Chicago, because Chicago mobsters. I'm not going for fucking high cinema, baby. I'm going for like real on the nose. There's gravy on the stove.
There's gonna be pinstripes
every fucking where. So we see who I'm gonna spoil it. We see that mobster, the big brolic one. We see his wife and his daughter just kind of dicking around the house like you would in the 50s. We hear on the radio, the fucking Fintilla crime family is at it again. See, bro, you said you'd buy it if I worked them in. There's only going to be more.
Can I get half a pound of bologna?
We hear a door get ripped off its hinges. In walks that brolic mobster.
Okay.
2 fresh holes on his neck.
Oofa.
This motherfucker's a vampire, and he has his daughter by his hair.
Oh, shit.
Honey, I'm home. Cut to fucking black.
Terrible.
Present day. Terrible.
2024. I'm
terrible, like sad for them?
For her.
I'll punch you in the nose, bitch. This is a good bitch so far. We cut to 2024 in this new world that Blade was put in.
Chicago?
He is in Chicago still, because I wanted to get him out of the fucking New York. All this sorts of shit happens here, but it's no more meows. But don't worry, they come back. There's a bunch of monster vampires in this motherfucker. We see Blade. We hear him monologuing to himself.
Yeah.
After that bullshit happened with those 2 freaks and my girl Elektra and my poor boy Gambit, who canonically I'm going to kill off. He's dead. He's dead in this. We're going to put one of those playing cards like in his vest. Like, rest in peace, Gambit. You were around for one fucking scene. We kind of get caught up that he was dropped into a world with vampires, but with no Blade. So he is the first and only Blade of this. We're not doing a multiverse thing. He's just in a world that's a little bit more realistic, minus the fucking mobster vampires.
Okay.
So he's talking about that same, whatever racially stereotypical Italian name you want to give. He's talking about this crime family. The Steve crime family. He's talking about them again. Cool Wesley Snipes fucking thing. He jumps down on a building. You see, he jumps down rather from the rooftop to the fire escape, right? And he sees this like red sports car like rip around the corner.
Okay.
He sees it fucking driving dangerously towards in the direction of two just bomb pieces.
Okay.
He drops down. He has this cool fucking jacket on. He has that awesome vest. He has a sword sticking out of the back. He got some fucking Mac 10s. This motherfucker he's the bladiest Blade's been in a minute, right? Still rocking the gray. He's not like younger now. It's Wesley fucking Snipes. He tells the girls, he goes, ladies, I suggest you beat it. Because again, this is like, I'm going fucking on. Wesley Snipes gonna have some fun on my set. Mm-hmm. So they go, oh fuck, okay, they run away. Scary black vampire man. You now see inside the car, those motherfucking vampires. They're fanging and banging, bro. They're listening to fucking horse shit techno like vampires do. They're driving at him. He is fanging and banging, doing it for you. That's gonna be on my poster. I may have stolen it from pro wrestling.
That's a bumper sticker.
Fuck yeah. In fact,
I just look for the fanging and banging bumper sticker.
It's on the cup.
That's a vampire.
He busts out those Mac 10s. We get that shit where he like shoots out the fucking front tires. The car flips over. He fucking does a flippity floppity out of the way. The vampire, he fucking goes to shoot. Vampire fucking smacks it out of his hand. I'm dieting. I'm real hungry. Smacks it out of his fucking hand. Throws Blade into a fucking business. Blade comes fucking rolling out. He gets the one, pulls out his signature, like double-bladed craziness. Like we have all the weapons from that OG. I think it's called like a glaive. Ellis might know in the chat, and he can correct me. He busts that out, decapitates one. It's silver, so the guy turns to ash. The other one, like, knocks that out of his hand. Big kicks him like a front chest kick, kicks him back. Blade whips out what looks like, imagine like a straw, like a metal straw. There. And it goes and it whap, and it whaps him in the neck, and you see like liquid pouring down. The guy's like, "Is that all you got?" He pulls it out of him and like went into him a little bit of his neck. Pulls it out. He goes, "Holy water, you mother!" and dissolves. Like just think RoboCop, like that brutal sort of acid bath, just from his hand and neck dissolves to like bones. And you see those two girls like still kind of at the scene, having seen everything that happened, just being like. And he looks up, does his Blade smile from the first movie. We're off and running. So that's to give you a taste, a flavor of what this film is going to be like. What the film is actually about. Blade has settled in. This is probably 2 years he's been on this version of Earth, right? Mm-hmm. So he has his base set up, a version of Whistler's back. There are elements, you know, again, everything kind of got reset, except there was no Blade. There was no his mom getting bitten by Deacon Frost is the guy who turned. There is, to his knowledge, no Deacon Frost. He's been looking for the entire time he's been there. What's better than killing the guy who killed your mom? Killing him again, right? Because all the shit from Blade 1, 2, and 3 happened. Okay. End of Blade 3, there were no more vampires. He gets thrown back into a world with fucking vampires. Motherfuckers has to restart. Okay. So he has all his research, and he has some higher tech shit than we're used to seeing. So he has a security system. When he walks to his base, he turns it down. The computer system, not quite AI, but not too far off, asks him if he wants to turn the system back on. He goes, not yet. I'm waiting for someone. As he says that, the palest hand with the bluest long nails you've ever seen almost comes swiping at him, and he grabs it. It's a female vampire. Oh, yeah. She kind of looks like a siren, though. She's older, so it's like that really slim frame. Think of you know, again, we can kind of fill in any sort of big starlet if she wants to play it, or it could just be like a hot model. Well, no, she's a vampire, so she's kind of stuck 22, 23. But
not necessarily, not unless she became a vampire.
Well, that's when she became a vampire. But what's changed about her is because
I want to fucking cast a hot chick. Shut up.
I'm trying to do it for your poster, man. Let me help you make money. What I mean by she's a siren is like as these vampires age, as opposed to the last time where they stayed normal looking, they start getting fucked up looking.
Okay.
So the longer you've been a vampire, even if it's only been 60 years, let's say, you start getting like a narrowed out face. You start getting more monstrous looking. So for her skin's basically white at this point. We then learn what our story is going to be. The vampire who turned her dad, she wants revenge against.
Turned her
father, and her father turned her. It was that mobster from the beginning.
That son of a bitch.
Right? So he basically, they kept her as a blood snack until she was old enough to turn.
She was a pre-son.
So they never directly bit her, but they basically drained her. So this poor little girl, 12, 13, when we saw her in the flashback, for 10 years was tortured for fun. These vampires are sadistic fucks. And because of that, of course, Blade is reminded of his mom, because the fucking guy is reminded by his mom from everywhere. If you were to watch Lady Penguin and Cape Crusader, he'd be like, Mommy, guy has fucking some issues, right? So we go through this adventure. They fight the dad. They kill the dad.
The gangster.
Massey, right? So you have more.
Is he still Massey?
Oh, yeah. He is not. He's still wearing those suits. Nice. Like, he's only getting more and more brolic, so his fashion sense did not change. What we get to in our third act. So right in the second act, we get, like, we think we're fucking done. We've resolved our issue. No. The dad's dead. This vampire girl stabs Blade in the neck with something. He turns and goes, like, again, we're going to try to use cuss words, but we're going to limit him by cutting him off halfway. He's now strung up, blood being drained out of him because they've never had a daywalker.
Sure.
This is our plan all along. She's like, fuck my dad. Motherfucker tortured me. This is for me. This is for me and my love. Out walks, and we're bringing him back, hopefully. I don't think he's been canceled. Deacon Frost from the original Blade, who has never interacted with this Blade.
What is his name?
He does exist, and he's very fucking alive, and he's very much like in charge. It basically goes Dracula, Deacon Frost, the rest of these motherfuckers.
Okay.
Blade, of course, is like, fucking kill. And Deacon's like, fucking relax, man. We just kidnapped you and are stealing all of your blood. You know what's going to happen? We're going to get a cameo.
From?
Who do you want? Who do you think is going to show up in this version? Now, mind you, this isn't Marvel's main line. This isn't Fox main's line. This isn't even his main line, but we're going to go with a blast from the past. That's going to probably annoy everyone but me. It's not Triple H, but damn close, Ellis, with the guess. We get Ryan Reynolds paying back the favor. And my girl, Jessica Biel, they're coming back to reprise new versions of their characters from Blade Trinity. They come and they rescue Blade. And we end knowing we're going to get another movie. Now the threesome is back together. We're going to run it back. Ryan Reynolds, Jessica Biel, Wesley Snipes are going to do one more Blade movie. Blade 5 is going to wrap up the story. He's going to get to kill Deacon Frost again.
So it's a two-parter, really.
It's a two-parter because I really want to get the most out of him while I can. But it ends with the bands back together so it could feel like a cameo. But come on, man. We get Ryan Reynolds playing a Deadpool adjacent character. He's now joined the multiversal fun without it being kind of fucked up. You know what, Ellis? We'll kill Triple H in the next one if you help give me money. So that's what we'll do. Ellis wants trips. I'm going to get trips. I think what we do is we get a fully satisfying story. I think we get a little taste of that, bear cub story that they're so desperate to tell, except she's like a fucking hot bomb piece. We get a main villain killed. We get to have some mobster fun. We're doing it all in Chicago. Blade's back and he's better than ever. Now he's joined by his friends to kind of make up for the disaster that was Blade Trinity.
No.
Yeah. How fun would the mobster vampires be?
That would be a lot of fun. I would love to have almost like a mini first arc in Chicago.
Yeah, we can do it.
I would love like a Chicago issue that needs to be addressed. That's above just like, let me kill these vampires that are out here. And truth be told, whatever the long-term game plan of like wanting to get a vampire to drain to like help you or whatever, and that needs to be kind of like the worst. Mm-hmm. Like that's the big crime amongst vampires, is killing another vampire. Every iteration they kind of lean into that same concept. But the fucking Chicago outfit is so bad that they don't give a fuck about killing other
Oh, I
monsters.
love that.
They don't give a fuck about killing other vampires. And for a period of time, Blade was like, well, they're doing my job for me, so I'll let them run through these motherfuckers, and almost like them celebrating, oh, we finally fucking cleared out the vampires here, and now we're that much stronger. Then Blade shows up, so I would love like that first third of the flick to be that, and then you can follow up
done
with the rest. Yeah, that would be a lot of fun.
I just feel like it allows us a lot of the fun of Deadpool Wolverine without it going full blown like this is just an excuse to have fun. Like there is a fucking story.
I don't need an excuse to have fun.
Fair enough.
That's the funny thing about fun.
I like that. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. I promise I will kill Triple H in the next. We are going to get some closure from Jody Joe.
Hell yeah, Joe.
John, there is only one way that we end each episode, but before we get to that, I want to thank you all again. Make sure you hit like, make sure you tell your friends about it, make sure you share us like the most delicious version of a play.
And thou shalt not suffer a vampire to live.
That's solid. That was goddamn solid. That was beautiful. That was beautiful. Oh, that's great. Spinoff from Midnight Suns. That's part 3. Jody, you're an executive producer.
Can we introduce Nick Cage back as Ghost Rider?
Fuck yes. John, there's only one way that we end each and every episode of US Comics. I'm going to tell them, but I need you to show them. Are you up for the challenge? Oh, I see the fingy of doom is ready, because first you got to turn the power on. Then you got to turn the volume up. You got to tune Bad Marion, open up the window wide and scream out into that beautiful night sky. Same as Space Girl. We out.